Hello guys, how you doing? This is of course Brother Mason, and today is the 4th of October 2021. It's a Monday, 4th of October 2021, and I just thought I'll come and have a little conversation with you. And this video is specifically dedicated to my Zimbabwean people, my Zimbabwean family. And as a brother, I needed to have a little conversation, a little chat with you, and hopefully Taura might make sense, and some of you might benefit from what we're going to be talking about. I was actually going to make this video as a live Facebook live video, but due to some technical difficulties I could not do so, so I had to resort into recording the video itself. You see, my Hamadzangu, tofana mbutaura chokwadi, andika. And kutaura chokwadi chaichaigo, ndiko kuti Zimbabwe depends on you. Zimbabwe relies on you. Most often, we talk a lot about everything that's going wrong in Zimbabwe. And we analyze, we are very technical, and we do some technical analysis of what and when and how everybody has got it wrong. The people in power, the people in office, in parliament. And we like to talk about this, and we do this very often and very well. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. What we need to realize and understand is the fact that Zimbabwe is you. All those people who are in office, all those people who are in power, all those people who are members of parliament, in the cabinet or whatever, these are people that they are working for you. Anons my public servants. That simply means these people that have to do what you wish. The wish and the will of the power. If they fail to do the wishes of the power, then they have failed to do what they are obliged to do. So the buck stops with you. In Mimi, you are the government. In Mimi, as a citizen, it is up to you how you want your government to work and how you want your country to work. And why am I saying this, ladies and gentlemen? I'm talking about this in Zimbabwe equals it needs a new dispensation, a new way of thinking, a new way of approaching things. We've always had one government since independence. We've always had one political party, ruling party, and we've never had any other alternative. I'm not saying, Koti, the ruling party has failed. I'm not saying they've been successful, because only time will tell. But what I am saying, Kodichi, if you want to implicate changes has to come with you. Changes have to come from you, because you've got the power. You've got the power to change everything. Never ever for a minute think, Kodichi, simply because the president or the vice president or the minister or the member of parliament in power, in office, don't have any authority, don't have any power over you. No, it's the other way around. Because you as a citizen, every single person who is in power is a public servant working for you. So that the power stops with you. You've got the power to change government. You've got the power to change the policies. You've got the power to change the constitution. Saka tikaziva zvese zvese ndiyona the political literacy and understanding kuti the government does not tell you what to do. We put the government, members of people representing us, people of our choices, in government, in office, in political seats, and they represent and they execute the wishes and the will of the people. Doing on the democratic society, doing on the democracy. So every time we always talk about what's going wrong in Zimbabwe, what's going wrong in Zimbabwe, and we talk about it. We say akuna community mentality. We are not together. and us, there's no bond between us as a people. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Bond community starts off with you. Because let me tell you an old axiom, an old proverb, and it says, I am who I am because of the community, and the community is what it is because of me. That is called Chivanu or Ubuntu philosophy. So it is you who makes the community. The community is what it is because of you. So if you see discrepancies, if you see problems with your community and with your government, with your country, it's because of you. It's not because of the a few individuals you have chosen to be representing you in parliament. It's because of you. The power rests with the people. It's called power to the people, or people power. Kala mchida kuchinja nyika yenyuka, munokwasa kuishandura imimi pacheshe nyimimi. But kuti nyika izo chinja, munofana kuchinja your mentality, mafungiro enyo, the way you approach and the way you deal with each other, talk with each other, and do business with each other. Don't expect kuti nyika yenyu ichinje when you yourself can't change. And we have to change in all different areas. For a country to progress, for a country to be called is developing or is evolving, whether economically, politically, or socially, it depends with you. What's your economic relationship with your next door neighbor? What's your political relationship with your next door neighbor? What's your social connection and responsibility in your community? Do not expect miracles to happen if you are not prepared to change. So this is my message I want to say to you, guys, as your brother. Brother Mason is telling you, we need to change ourselves if we want Zimbabwe to change. Tofana kufunga mafungiro edu, tofana kufunga maitiro edu, tofana kufunga jese jatinate, tofana kuchinja jese jatinate. Tikashandura all of these things. And guess what? Everything automatically will just change. Change the way you talk to your neighbor. Change the way you treat your neighbor. Change the way you treat your community. Nokuti, the people whom we put on power, the people whom we put as members of parliament or as presidents, they are representing the wishes and the will of the people. So if we have a corrupt members of parliament, if we've got a corrupt government, they are simply representing the wishes and the will of the people. So what am I saying? It may mean, as an individual, if you stop being corrupt yourself, corrupt to your next door neighbor, corrupt to your loved ones, corrupt to your family, you're not going to get a member of parliament representing you who is corrupt. If you stop doing bribery with your colleagues, nobody else is going to do bribery in parliament. That's how it works. Because the government is a macrocosm of your microcosm. The government is just a larger part of you. Saka mafungiro aneita vano na maitiro anenga vachita vanu varimu government, they're simply representing your psychological and your behavior. Saka isusu kuti tichinje government tofana kuchinja mafungiro. Don't expect the president to be fair or the member of parliament to be fair if you are not fair yourself. If you are expecting a government full of virtue, a government full of respect and responsibility and accountability, how about you? Have you got virtues? Have you got accountability? Are you responsible of all of your actions? So the point I'm trying to say to you, my fellow brothers and sisters, kana muda kuti nyika ichinje, it has to start with you. Iwewe chinja. Change the way you talk. Change the way you treat each other. Change the way you communicate with each other. Don't expect other people to show you respect. Iwewe kana usinga respect wangu. Don't expect fairness and accountability. Iwewe kana uri corrupt and you never fair with other people. Sakachi, government is a representation of, it's a projection or an extension of your own thoughts and behavior. Kana tikababatisa papa, they know the political science and political literacy. And once we do that, we're going to put the government accountable. There is no point of us being putting the government to be accountable. It's also while we are not accountable of our own behavior and our own actions. Don't expect a government to represent you in fairness, in all transparency, iwewe usiri fair and transparent in your everyday to-day life. Saka, ladies and gentlemen, Brother Mason is trying to tell you, we need to change the way we think, change the way we act. And automatically, the government is going to represent the wishes and the behavior, the psychological behavior and pattern of its citizens. Like I said, a government is just a projection, an extension of its citizens' thoughts and ideas. Mafungira mnenge mchita nezvizvi mnenge mchita ndo zvarepresentwa negovernment. Saka musati hanzi zvinazikufamba zvinazikubudirira, our government is corrupt, they are too busy looting, pillaging and being corrupted, being vegetable bribery and all of this. But iwewe at the same token, you do exactly the same thing in your everyday to-day life. Ukachinja maitiro ako iwewe, eventually zvichachinja hama yako, zvichachinja community yako, and consequently zvichachinja your government and your country. So in Zimbabwe, we need to, ladies and gentlemen, tinofana kuchinja our way of living, our way of thinking. Kana muna kuti nyika ichinje, tofana kuchinja maitiro edu. Treat each other with respect. Treat each other with courtesy. Ukaona munhu achibudirira muupenyu wake, whether business-wise or whatever it is, you know what? Mutende and wish him well. Usaida jealous, usaida golo. Don't be jealous of your brother's success. Don't be jealous of your sister's success. Because your sister and your brother's success is your success eventually, because you're going to learn lessons from how or she has done it. And that's how you're going to evolve and better yourself financially. Just because mumamuna awana opportunity, usaita godo. And if you see somebody else needing help, needing assistance, be there, raise them up, help them, give them the helping hand. All those virtues, love, empathy, sympathy, these are going to be represented on top, because in government, they're going to be representing our virtues, our way of thinking, our psychology, and our perception. You can't expect somebody else kuti ave nepfungwa dzakadaro. Isusu while we are different, tinda umbava, tinda upombwe, and tinaita majealous, and we just want somebody to fall. Player hating degree, PhD. We want somebody else to just fall. We don't want them to be successful. Saka kanari umafungiro edi isusu. How do you expect somebody else in government, in power, to be exactly living a virtuous life? If you live in vices. Saka mnukupaona. I know it's very deep, it's very philosophical, but this is what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. If we want our country to change who you are. Change the way you are. Change the way you think, change the way you eat, change the way you talk, change the way you act, change the way you treat other people. Do not expect a government to have compassion. Iwebo kana usina compassion to your fellow brothers and sisters. Do not expect a government to be empathetic. Iwo kana usina empathy to your fellow brothers and sisters. Do not expect a government to be full of love and forgiveness. Iwewe if you lack those skills yourself in mupenyu wako. Saka, once we understand this, do you know the political literacy, ladies and gentlemen? Politics is all about you. Politics is not about the government. Politics is not about those men and women representing you in a parliament. That's not politics. Those people are simply representing your wishes, your desires, your voices. That's why they're called public servants. They're civil servants working for you. You pay them to be there. But politics is about you. Politics is about your community. Politics is about what you are doing. Like I said, tikadzokera ku uvano, chivano, Ubuntu philosophy. I am who I am because of the community. And the community is what it is because of me. You are the fabric of the community. And the community is dependent on you. Zvaunoita ende zvaunofunga nezvauchaita is what's gonna contribute to the construct of a community. Iwewe kana uchita zveumbavha zvekuba, and if you are not trustworthy, and if you uchingeta very corrupt, do not expect to have a non-corrupt, non-bribery, non-transparent, a transparent government to be representing you. That's not going to happen. Because a government is an extension of the citizen. A government is an extension of the citizen thinking, psychological thinking, and their way of living. My brothers and sisters, this is how we're going to change Zimbabwe. Change starts with you. Change starts with the way you think. Just because your other brother or your sister, your neighbor is successful, don't try to pull them down. Be happy for them. Support them. Go and support their business. Tell them, I'm really, really glad and very, 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 very grateful and blessed that you are happy because your blessings, my blessings. When you see your other brother or your sister successful in whatever business it is, in the long run because you're going to learn. It's going to be inspired. You're going to be motivated to do even better than your brother and sister has done. This is how we're going to change the country. I just thought, ladies and gentlemen, we need to have this kind of conversation. We need to have this kind of dialogue. We need to have this moment of reflection and moment of truth. Because only the truth is going to set us free. And this is truth of understanding who you are. If you do not know who you are, how do you expect to have a transparent and successful government that is there for the people? While you're all confused already. Saka, to summarize my point, let's start off with you. The work starts with you. Iwewe, be the person that you expect other people to be. Be the vision that you expect the whole community to be. If you are expecting transparency, fairness, and love, sympathy, and empathy, have you yourself got these qualities? Because qualities, how do you expect others to project those qualities on you? Especially the government. The members of parliament, the president, and all these people we elect to represent us in a government, in a state, in a democratic state, they represent our wishes, our will, and our thoughts. Mafungiro atineta ndo mafungiro aneta vanu whom we represent, who are representing us in power, in government. So really, we get what we deserve and we get what we are projecting. ukafunga, ukachinja what you are doing, the government automatically is going to change. Take off change. No way. There is no way we're going to accept bribery. No way we're going to accept corruption. No way we're going to accept Kuba. No way we're going to accept kunyepa. There is no way we're going to have a member of parliament or even a president who is not transparent, who is a liar. We're going to have a president that represents us. Because like I said, the people in power and in government are an extension of you. If we talk and if we have an honest conversation, maybe this might help. And this is a political literacy we are doing here. Let's stop analyzing, over-analyzing and being technical about things. And let's just start by acting. Action. Everything starts with action. How are we acting? How are we behaving? How are we living? How are we treating each other? How are we treating others? How are we, what's our relationship with others? This is where we're going to change the country. The country starts with you. The country is not a community. The country is not a geographical location. You are the country as an individual. Change what you do and how you react and how you treat other people and how you connect and mingle with other people and interact with other people. Eventually, the country will change, because everything that is outside of you is a projection of what's inside of you. Papa say, Papa. I hope you get this right. Everything that you see outside of you is a projection of what's going on internally. Change your ways and change your behavior, change your things. Eventually, everything will change. There is no way a member of parliament or a president is going to be corrupt, full of bribery, no transparency, is a liar, is a cheat, is a charlatan, going to be representing good-hearted empathy, sympathy for people. That's not going to happen. A government representing the wishes and the will of the people. Saka chinjai my tire, chinjai the way you think, chinjai how you treat each other, chinjai everything about you. Always aspire to be a better version of yourself. And always aspire to serve the community. See your other brother, your other sister happy. That should be making you happy. See your other brother, your other sister successful and progressing. That should be making you happy. But if you're full of jealousy and envy and trying to pull down somebody and see somebody failing, how do you expect the government to represent you? How do you expect to have a just government who understands democratic philosophies where everything is equal and everybody is represented and where there's opportunities for everybody? How do you expect that? It's not going to happen. But if we can change the way you treat others, because you are the government, how do you govern yourself? How do you govern your community? How do you govern your relationship with others? How do you govern your family? The government, let me tell you something. The state is a projection of you. The way the government is running the state, it is exactly a projection of the way you are running your life and your vicinity, whether it's your community or whether it's your family. This is political literacy, ladies and gentlemen. We need to have a discernment to understand how do things work. Because I want Zimbabwe to change. All of us, we are all in diaspora, and most of us, we left Zimbabwe, some of us for political reasons, but most of us for economic reasons, because we are looking for greener pastures somewhere out there. But who is going to change the country? Our country is a beautiful and lovely country. We all want to go back to our country, and we all want to do something for our country. But say if isusu tisingakwanisa kuchinja maitireno, change the way you think, change the way you act. Treat others equally, fairly. Have empathy, have sympathy. Root up for others. When you see them successful, always cheer up for them. Don't try to pull them down. And once we have this kind of mentality, eventually our member of parliament is going to change. Our councillor is going to change. Our mayor is going to change. Our vice president is going to change. Our cabinet office representative is going to change. Our vice president is going to change. Our president is going to change. Change starts off from you and with you. The politics. Parliament, my representatives of your wishes and your will, and they have to implement, to enforce, and establish the Constitution. They have to work in accordance with the Constitution, and they have to do the wishes and the will of the people. But if the people, if you are corrupt in opinion wako, iwewe kana usina sympathy, if you do not have heart, if your heart is full of evilness, iwewe kana usina empathy, iwewe kana usina forgiveness, iwewe kana usina unconditional love, how would you expect your member of parliament to have unconditional love? How do you expect your member of parliament to have love, empathy, and sympathy? Iwewe usina those virtuous qualities. You can't have a government full of virtue, you're full of vices, jealousy, and envy. No, that's not how it works. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're going to change. I know we need to have this kind of dialogue. We never had this dialogue before. We are very good at criticizing and analyzing where everything is going wrong. Oh, why can't A and B? Why can't he do this? Why is he or she doing this? What is the intentions? What is the motivation? Why can't she change their mind? Iwewe, start off with you. How about you? What have you done to empower other people? What have you done to empower your next door neighbor? What have you done to empower your family? What have you done for others to see them progressing? What have you done, Iwewe, to be a community builder? But at the same token, you are expecting the government to change and to do miracles. How can they do that? A government is a reflection of its citizens' thoughts and wishes and will. A government is a reflection of its citizens' behavior. If its citizens changes, obviously people who are going to be representing you are going to be changed individuals. So we can't blame why is ZANU-PF in power, or why do we have corrupt citizens. Those corrupt citizens are simply reflections of our own behavior. Chinjai maitiro ako, chinjai the way you think, chinjai the way you talk and treat other people. Change everything else. And do you know what? Mark my words. The government will eventually change. Nekuti, before you know it, vanhu vachaisa mu power, mu government, mu positions of power, vanenge vane ma virtues edu isusu. Will have cultivated and planted the seeds of virtues, morals, ethics, and they're going to be representing us. Saka, I just told you, Timbo Tower, and this is an honest conversation, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is deep, and we're going way, way deep, but this is what we need to do. We need to have discernment. We need to have enlightenment. We need to have a change of perception. Well, this is a political literacy. This is politics. This is political science. Understanding that the government are representing the wishes and the behavior of its people. What you see the government is doing is literally an indication of its citizens' behavior and attitudes. Tikachinja maitiro edo, tikachinja the ways jatinator. Before you know it, your government will change. Yes, you know, change. So ladies and gentlemen, I just thought I'll have a little word with you. I'm Brother Mason, and thank you very much for joining in, and we will look up and we'll hook up next time. And very soon we're going to have a live show. We're going to have a chat show. We're going to be discussing about all these things and many other things and many other topics on this platform, Padari, Panapa Zimbabwe Family Padari. We're going to be talking about so many different things, and every Sunday we're going to have a show. I'm going to have a panelist, and yes, we need to be talking about everything of Zimbabwean interest. Change starts with you, and change comes from you. Brother Mason, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you very much. Okay, you look after yourself. Okay, bye-bye.